ahead and get started. So good afternoon. I am Kimberly Marshall. I'm the Economic Development Director for the City of Medina, and I want to thank all of you for coming out today to officially welcome Metro Health Medina Healthcare Center to Reagan Parkway, also to the City of Medina. Our ribbon cuttings are a collaboration between the city, the Medina Chamber of Commerce, Main Street Medina, and the Medina County Economic Development Corporation. These are all my partners in crime, so I'm going to introduce them real quickly. They're in the audience. We've got Bethany Dentler here, Executive Director, the Medina County Economic Development Corporation. Jacqueline Ringstmeyer, Executive Director for the Medina Chamber of Commerce. Matt Wiederhold, our Executive Director for Main Street Medina. So thank you all for being here today as well. We are very grateful for Metro Health's decision to bring another primary care option to the City of Medina. So as you all probably know, House Bill 111 was passed last fall, allowing Metro Health to expand its services to Medina County. We are thankful for the work of our legislators, Senate President Larry Obhoff, Representative Steve Hambley, and Representative Darrell Kick, all of who are here today, and you'll hear from them briefly, for their efforts on getting this legislation passed. At this time, I would like to introduce Michael Stern. Michael was named Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer in January of 2018. In his role, Michael is responsible for coordinating organization-wide operational efforts. He joined Metro Health as Senior Vice President and Chief of Staff in August of 2015 and has held various operations leadership roles in the healthcare industries for more than a decade. Michael earned a Master of Health Administration degree from Clark University and the University of Massachusetts Medical School in Worcester, Massachusetts, and a Bachelor of Business Administration and Management degree from Hofstra University in Hempstead, New York. He is also a fellow American College of Healthcare Executives. So, Michael.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you for the warm introduction, Kimberly. Really appreciate it. It's my pleasure to be here this afternoon. On behalf of Metro Health, I would like to thank everyone that's here, especially Medina Mayor Dennis Hanwell, State Representative Larry Obhoff, State Representative Stephen Hambley, State Representative Darrell Kick, and so many representatives from the Medina community for helping to celebrate the opening of the Metro Health Medina Health Center. We also want to thank Mayor Hanwell's staff and the City of Medina for being so welcoming. We appreciate the leadership provided by the Mayor, President Obhoff, and the Representatives Hambley and Kick for advocating legislation that simplified the process for Metro Health to expand our services outside the county. The new health center makes it easier for our patients to receive the right care at the right time, and most importantly, closer to their homes. Without the help of the Mayor and our state legislators, we truly wouldn't be here today, so thank you very much. I also want to thank Dr. Luann O'Connor for partnering with us to ensure primary care services continue in the community. Many of her patients have already transferred their care to Metro Health. Metro Health prides itself on being part of the communities we're in. We're doing that at our main campus by helping to rebuild the neighborhood around us, by operating a high school inside a hospital, and training the next generation of doctors and nurses, and so much more. Here in Medina, Anthony Petruzzi is a perfect example of that commitment to the community. When he's not here, taking care of our patients, he's coaching the Medina Mako swim team or serving as head coach of the Medina B swim team. If you live in Medina, you know his record and his swimmers speak for themselves. This is his community and your community. We are proud to now be part of the community also. So we hope you'll stay and join us for a little while, and we look forward to getting to know you better as well as the Medina community. So thank you very much.
Okay, so for those of you that know me really well, you know that I have a lot of favorite little sayings, but one of my most favorite is, people do not care how much you know until they know how much you care. This is very true of our mayor. For the past almost 8 years, I've had the pleasure of serving by his side every day to make Medina a better place to do business. He has formed an administration that is customer service focused and one where we care about the citizens and the businesses that we serve. He's an incredible leader and he makes my job easier because of his dedication to our business community. A little bit about Mayor Dennis Hanwell is he's in the beginning of his 9th year as mayor and safety director for the city of Medina. Prior to being elected mayor, he served on the City of Medina Police Force for 22 years, with the last 15 years as chief of police. The graduate of the Ohio State Highway Patrol Academy Law Enforcement Executive Management Training by the FBI and holds a Bachelor of Justice Administration from Tiffin University. The mayor has been active in many national, state, and local organizations. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce our mayor, Dennis Hanwell.
Thank you. It's my excited honor to be here today. This is something that we've been working on for nearly 2 years now. Before I start, let me introduce some of the administration that's here, though. Behind the video camera is Jared Fry from our Medina TV office. Barbara DeZur is to his left. She's the marketing director for economic development. Jonathan Mendel is our community development director. Chief Ed Kinney is the chief of our police department. Keith Durham is our finance director. Dan Gladish is our building official. Counsel at large, Paul Rose. And Kimberly, obviously, is our economic development director. So no surprise to anybody that's here from the community, but the city was notified in early 2017 that the clinic was going to close their birthing center. And the state representatives and myself met with a number of healthcare facilities, including the clinic, to try to change their thinking on that, to no avail. And they closed it in June of 2017. We continued to meet with healthcare facilities, myself personally, the state legislators, and I even, as far as Worcester, reached out to Worcester and asked if they'd be willing to come north, because I wasn't having much luck with folks coming south. And I probably should have made this as my first call instead of my last call. I sent an email to Dr. Akram Boutros, the president and CEO of Metro Hospital, and he called me about 15-20 minutes later and discussed what the concern was, what the issue was, and said he would have his management team start reviewing what it would take to come down to Medina County. And that was in November of 2017, and a couple weeks later I got a phone call from Jane Platten in his administration telling me that the ORC section 339 prohibited them, being a county hospital, from leaving the county and coming down to Medina, and therefore they would not be able to do so. So I was at a dead end again. And I just happened to be going to a demanded trip with my wife to Florida, and as you all know, if you fly, you have to shut your phone off. Well, when I get off the airplane in Orlando and reactivate my phone, there's a message from my assistant saying Dr. Boutros called, and he said he would like to talk to you. He's got something he thinks you'll really appreciate. And Dr. Boutros then shared with me the problem with this ORC code, and that they would be very interested in looking at Medina County if in fact we could get this ORC section changed. And I told them that I knew some great folks in Columbus that could probably help us do exactly that, because they were equally concerned with the limitation of services that we were dealing with here in Medina County. And from there, Dr. Boutros's team, we worked on getting the law changed. It was changed. It took a little while in the House because there was an issue getting a speaker elected and then getting the governor back into town long enough to sign it. But that all happened in June of 2018, and the law took effect. And from that time to now, this is where we've come already. This is the first unit. We hope it's the beginning of of more services to our community. And I thank you, Mr. Stern and Dr. Boutros and the entire team. And I will share with you that we are very thankful and appreciative of you, but we embrace everybody this way. This is not just Metro Health. This is how we do business in Medina. And I know a few of your folks were down for a couple of our other ribbon cuttings and got to witness that. We truly appreciate people making an investment in our community. We know that they could take their business and open it up anywhere else, and we want them to know that we surely appreciate and we'll do everything in our power to support them. So thank you for coming to the City of Medina.
The next person I would like to introduce is someone that I've been working with almost for 8 years as well. He has been a devoted advocate of small businesses and economic development and joins us quite frequently on the ribbon cutting trail, as we like to call it. We are very fortunate to have him not only as our senator, but in the leadership role of Senate President. And one thing I will say about Senator Obhoff, Representative Hambley, like, I have their numbers on speed dial, right? Not just their office number, but their cell phone numbers too. There's probably not a week that doesn't go by that I'm calling them about something or asking for some help on some other legislation. So they are very responsive, and we have a great working relationship. So we're very appreciative of that. Larry Obhoff serves as president of the Ohio Senate for the 133rd General Assembly. As the presiding officer of the 33-member Senate, he's responsible for leading the Senate's Majority Caucus as it sets the policy agenda for the 2-year legislative cycle. President Obhoff proudly represents the people of the 22nd Senate District, which includes Medina, Ashland, Richland counties, and parts of Holmes County. He is focused on improving Ohio's economy and has been a staunch advocate of fiscal responsibility, smaller and more efficient government, and lower taxes. In addition to his legislative duties, President Obhoff is an attorney, and he has taught courses on civil procedure and legislation as an adjunct law professor. He has graduated with degrees in economics, history, political science from the Ohio State University, and earned his law degree from Yale Law School. So without further ado, Senator Obhoff.
Well, it is great to be here today, and I'll keep it relatively brief. I don't know that I have much to say that's different than what the mayor said or what Representative Hambley is going to, other than I think this is how government is supposed to work. We had a significant local problem related to some services no longer being available in our community. We heard from the people of the area about that problem. We had frequent contact from the mayor, who looks out for this area in a way that a lot of local officials look out for the people of their hometowns, but very few of them will call the Senate President and the state representative every day until something gets done. And Dennis worked very hard to make sure that this always stayed at the top of our radar. And it's great to see that come to fruition. A couple of legislators who played a pretty significant role in this, Dave Burke, our Health Committee Chairman, and Kirk Schuring, who was then the acting Speaker of the House. I think that Steve kind of poked him a couple times until he actually took an interest as well, because we believe in people having more choices in their health care, more opportunities to go where they want, to see which doctor they want. And we appreciate the fact that with the law change, that Metro Health has taken up a presence in Medina County. Competition is a good thing. More choices for all of the patients of Medina County is a good thing, and we look forward to the new partnership that we have with you. So good luck with your practice, and I do have a commendation. I saw one that I had over in the doorway on the wall there, so I thought that was this one. So apparently I am double prepared. So I do have a commendation from the Ohio Senate for you. It reads, in part, On behalf of the members of the Senate of the 133rd General Assembly of Ohio, I am pleased to extend special recognition to the Metro Health Medina Health Center on the occasion of its ribbon cutting today, January 25th, 2019. It is through the contributions of institutions such as this one that Ohio has gained a reputation as a state whose residents are always ready to extend a helping hand to others. The many individuals who've been involved in the establishment of this new facility are deserving of praise and admiration, and it is with great pride that we commend the Metro Health Medina Health Center on its ribbon cutting, and we extend our best wishes for success in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. So the next person I would like to introduce is someone that is also a frequent flyer on our ribbon cutting trail. Additionally, he's a strong advocate for education, workforce, and economic development. State Representative Steve Hambley is serving his third term in the Ohio House of Representatives. He represents the 69th House District, which includes most of Medina County. Prior to being elected to the House of Representatives, Steve served as Medina County Commissioner for 18 years. He also served as a Brunswick City Councilman for 5 years, chairing city's Planning and Zoning Committee and Economic Development Committee in the early 1990s. He received a PhD from the University of Akron in 1993 and was awarded a Martin Scholarship in History for 2 years. Over the last 20 years, as a professor teaching at various colleges, Dr. Hambley, I wasn't sure if I should call you Dr. Representative, how that works, but he's taught courses in government, politics, and history. Ladies and gentlemen, State Representative Steve Hambley.
As Senator Obhoff mentioned, it really is a pleasure. We come to these things frequent, but this one has even a greater pleasure because of the impact. It's just not the square footage that this represents, but really it's a great day. Many people have worked and concerns, and I know it's Mayor Hanwell. I almost got elevated. Mayor Hanwell has kind of presented a story of House Bill 111, and certainly behind the scenes, a lot of people, as Senator Obhoff has mentioned, Kirk Schuring, there had been others as well. It was a House bill, Rick Harfagna, was his bill, and of course the etiquette says you talk to the sponsor. Pardon me? Greenspan also got involved with it as well. Representative Greenspan is up in Cuyahoga County. He likewise was involved, and in fact we had some conversation with a caucus retreat going on. Talked to him even this morning about the role of public hospitals. And what this signifies is much more than just an additional medical facility and so forth, but really a public hospital is different than, I would say, the business of medicine. Our budgets reflect priorities. If you look, the two biggest budget items we've got in the state of Ohio are education and actually healthcare. And healthcare itself, how important that is. And the role of a public hospital. There's only, I think, 9, in the state. This is the biggest one. This one has the greatest network and greatest impact. And for it to be able to then follow the people, follow the growth, and be able to provide the service is such an important concept that the ORC had never anticipated, because every county could form their own hospital. Of course, this day and age, Medina County, we didn't have that history. We had a community hospital and so forth. But the concept of them being able to provide that network of services is just the magnitude of impact on this community. This is historic. Certainly this will be on somebody's timeline, if not mine, in the future, as to an important event when Metro Health was able to introduce expanded services. Being from Brunswick, and I think we were the first that we did have in Brunswick. We have the digestive disease consultants had located a facility. They required the county commissioners at the time, which was one, to get their permission. This didn't require anybody's permission. Once we cleared it with the ORC, it is because it makes sense. And it's not just that they're actually providing the services, they're providing services that are missing within the community. And the opportunity to serve the public means so much more than just when we start talking about the business of medicine and the business of healthcare. We're now talking about the public needs that involve healthcare services, the comprehensive nature, and indeed with the people certainly that care, that are part of that public network. And so it's a whole lot more than just opening up another doctor's office. Or it means that actually the extension of a public entity that had members that has a public mission the public authority to provide these services. And then as the mayor has indicated, very clearly, there's some opportunities here for the county and can continue to grow. And so with that, it is my great pleasure and in fact, also Daryl Kick was likewise part of the conversations we had. I remember when we were meeting, and this was during, I think, this was one of those, it was before summer. It wasn't a lame duck session, but it was getting close because we were just closing off, and I know that people use the analogy of a sausage. I don't like sausage. Frankly, what's an American food is, and I've used this analogy, it's a pancake. So we took one bill and we pancaked another bill on top of it. We had pancaked an amendment. Pancakes are good for you. They're whole wheat, and grain. Put a little, put a little maple syrup, the diet maple syrup if you want, so you don't have the sugar issue. But likewise, it's a good product. But the point is that it's something we pancaked. We were able to make and accomplish, and that there's a lot of chefs involved. And Daryl Kick was one of those chefs. So we're standing there when we were talking to Greenspan and the other members, and obviously also sharing to make sure that we had the support that when the amendment was pancaked in the Senate, that would come back and we'd have everybody's support to make this momentous change for Medina County. And maybe it doesn't represent a whole lot in Columbus or represent a whole lot elsewhere in the state, but for this area, it means, to me, everything. It means everything for people here in our community. And in Daryl Kick's, I think you can throw a stone and almost hit Daryl Kick's district. He's the other third York Township, so well, you'd have to have a pretty good arm to get that far. But that it would serve his residents as well. So it was a great pleasure on our behalf, Daryl Kick, myself, and also Speaker Householder, present this to well, both of you, I guess. Yes. Daryl, did you want to say a word or two?
Well, I'm just glad I don't have to answer to my wife that I have some Kimberly on my phone calling me all the time. No, it was interesting. That's right. I don't have Medina in my district, but I have a lot of Medina County. Well, a third. Sorry. No, just real quick. In the hallway one day, his aide was walking by and said something about meeting with Metro Health and some others, and I said, "Hey, say hi to Tracy." And they were like, "What?" I had a former job, and I had spent time up at Metro Health several times, meeting on behalf of a Congressman Bob Gibbs, and got to know people up there, fell in love with the place, and was thrilled to be alongside of this, to get this done down here. Somebody's missing out, and you guys stepped in and took care of it. So we thank you, wish you the best, and glad to be a part of it. Thank you.
Okay, so we can't even have a party without paperwork. Well, that one's already framed, so guess you have another one for your office. All right, so we are at the most exciting part, which is the ribbon cutting.
Go 3, 2, 1.
Congratulations.